Big bad Punisher mechs, Mattel toys for kids, and Jedis who can't get the job done. All this and a whole lot more on the only news that matters, and that's good news. So, the biggest pre-order of the day has to be the Marvel Legends Punisher mech. The Punisher Hulkbuster, whatever you want to call it. It's the big boy dropping today. And I think a lot of people are going to be kind of excited for it. I'm excited for finding it in person, in the wild. First of all, I wouldn't pre-order it just because I'm in Hong Kong. That's going to be a lot of shipping. I don't need to because it should be hitting here, hopefully fingers crossed, before anywhere else. And considering the prices are a little bit cheaper over here, that might be all the motivation I need to just have my arm twisted just enough to pick it up. Because I did tell myself I want to buy at least 10 action figures this year. And that's not a lot. That's less than one a month. So that at least at the end of the year, I can do my top 10 action figures. Will those be my only action figures? Maybe. But if I count this Punisher mech among them, that's no bad thing. You can see from the pictures here, there's a fair amount of reuse from the old Hulkbuster, but I tell you what, they are putting it to good use, and there is enough brand new stuff on top of it that it really does count and stand alone as a wholly unique piece. Then with the unmasked Punisher face, the Chichetto artwork, it is Chichetto, isn't it? It looks like a fantastic recreation of those pencils. Absolutely love that. And then all of the accoutrements on top. I love me some blast effects, some missiles flying, some Gatling gun effects. These are just like a roided up version of the old War Machine Deluxe figure with the brrrr and the so cool. So this is available for pre-order right now. And if you're wondering, why should I care about this version of the Punisher? Well, there's a video on the main Model Behavior channel in which I tell you the full story about General Ross's Red Thunderbolts, how the Punisher is involved with them, and how he eventually tries to take out the entire team using this mech, amongst other things. It's a really fun story, so you can see that on the main channel. In the meantime, though, I don't think you need to in order to justify this figure, because I think it stands alone as looking like one of the coolest Marvel Legends to come along, well, at least today. 1/12 scale pocket toys, Tales of Tang Heroes. Sometimes I will see a pretty thing that I don't know anything about, but I still kind of like. That's what we're looking at here. When it comes to Chinese mythological history, I think this is Chinese. I could be wrong. I'm guessing. Could be way off, but Tang sounds more Chinese, so I'm going to go in that direction. I don't know much about much, but I know what I like. The detailing and the paintwork on this ancient armor. Maybe it's a little bit historical accurate. Maybe there's a bit of fantasy thrown in. I don't know, but the end result from these pictures looks awful nice. But the thing that really draws me to this is the cartoony, over-the-top, caricature kind of looking face. Which is funny because that looks more like an anime, manga, Japanese kind of approach. But I really, really dig it. Sometimes with these historical type characters, the faces can be kind of bland. Not much going on there. The real attention to detail is put into the armor and how accurate it is or how fantastical you want it to be. The face can be kind of the last thing you consider. Whereas here, this is what dominates the whole figure, and I love how much character it gives to it. And then as far as accessories are concerned, the fish barbecuing over the fire, that's a real nice touch. I love that. And that's a very versatile kind of accessory that you could throw into other characters and other displays as well. You could have Kazar roasting some fish in the Savage Land with Shana next to him. I don't know, I'm spitballing ideas. But if you like the look of it, this is available for pre-order right now over at 5K Toys. We have some blogger photos of the soon-to-be released, if not just right this moment released, Hot Toys Sacy Tin Jedi action figure. Of course, this is prequel type chronology, so my knowledge is pretty spotty. As soon as I saw him though, I was like, wait a minute. Is this one of the Jedi jobbers who got one-shotted by Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith? And then I started flicking through the images, and lo and behold, there he was on either side with some other guy with Sam Jackson's Jedi, and I was like, yep, that's the dude. That's the one who, when I was watching, I was like, really? You'd already spent 2.5 movies making the Jedi look kind of dumb. And now you're making them look pretty darn rubbish, George. And what's funny is I knew for a fact, and I know this might upset some folks, but I had no doubt that there would definitely be some episode of the Clone Wars where people can point to it and go, no, actually, if you watch 156 episodes of the Clone Wars, you'll see this guy's actually really, really good and really important. And in that one scene in Revenge of the Jedi, he was having a bad day because if you watch the supplementary material, he had a Jedi mind vision dream the night before and he wasn't quite feeling himself. I don't care. And don't get mad. It's just, I'm just playing with you. I like lots of things that other people aren't so fond of. I'm the world's biggest Spider-Man Clone Saga fan. All right. So to each his own. I don't want to yuck your yum. And certainly Hot Toys have done an incredible job with recreating the look of this character. And if you want to part with $300, then you should be able to put him on your shelf, I think, any day now. Hiya Toys are going real deep with their Godzilla kaiju action figures. Now we've got, what's it called? The Warbat. I wanted to say Hellbat. I had Hellbat on the brain from the Revoltech Hellbat that came out a little while ago. But no, this is the Warbat from Godzilla vs. Kong, one of the creepier looking kaijus, as far as I'm concerned. Very often I see a kaiju, they just look like a big bad monster. Oh, that's cool. This guy kind of gives me the goo-goo jeebies a little bit, but that's the whole point of these guys. It looks like it's another little labor of love from Hiya Toys, as these things always are. Hiya Toys, you can compare them to SH Monster Arts. Which one is better? It's funny, a friend of mine said to me, he was like, I feel personally Hiya Toys is definitely the superior product. And I mentioned that on the channel, and loads of people came into the comments in the defense of Monster Arts saying, actually, you know what? I reckon Monster Arts are superior, so it's kind of a toss-up. But certainly Hiya Toys are cranking these guys out at a faster rate, and it doesn't look like they're compromising on quality either. So if you want to build up an entire kaiju army, Hiya Toys are going to be the ones to go for. You can see, I almost said Hot Toys there. More than one thing at one time, my brain does struggle. From 3-0 in their Fig Zero line, we are getting Gridman Tokusatsu color version. So we already had another version of this character that came out a little while ago who was a lot more bright and bold and very animated looking colors. Now we got more of a dingy, but a cool kind of dingy version. Kind of like Evil Superman from Superman 3. Same design, just roughed up a little bit. Also, am I not alone in thinking that Christopher Reeve looked like badass stud-like in the Evil Superman guys? I'm sorry, but Evil Superman, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I could change him. But this, it looks great. I mean, with the soft goods as well, it's supposed to look like a man in a suit because that's what it is. So recapturing that look in action figure form, actually pretty darn perfect. I don't know if Gridman is another name for Ultraman. It certainly looks like he has a lot of the Ultraman trappings. What I appreciate is that there are plenty of people in the comments. Well, actually, now that we've changed to a new channel, there's not that many people in the comments. So if you do comment, it's going to really help out the algorithm and help me build up this channel. But if you could let me know how this is connected to Ultraman, I'd really appreciate it. But if you know, you know. And if you do, you might want to pick this up. So here at Model Behavior News, you know that we cover all things action figure, and occasionally we do even dip our toe in the side of bootlegs, because I want to talk about this upcoming Cyclops from what is being dubbed as Mustang Toys. Mustang Sally! I think they're going to slow their Mustang down, but also they're going to put together this not SH Figure Arts Cyclops, which is totally SH Figure Arts Cyclops, but if they can improve on the original, that might not be the worst thing in the world, because I have to admit, to quote Red Letter Media, SH Figure Arts Gameverse Cyclops was the most disappointing thing since my son. Because it was. He looks so good. And then you get him out of the packaging and the plastic feels brittle. The articulation's really limited. And it's just like, we were this close to greatness, folks. So if a KO company can do a version 2.0, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So if they could make him a little bit taller, that would be great, because I'm already seeing people doing mods online of how to make your SH Figure Arts Cyclops a little bit taller. Just scrap it and start again with a taller one. That could be even better. So I'll keep a little eye on this project here, because it might finally be the Cyclops that we all wanted, that we didn't quite get in the first round. If you want something kind of cool, unusual, fun, and outside the box of what we normally talk about, Jada Toys are going to be giving us a remote-controlled AT-AT from Grogu and the Mandalorian. And this, hey, it's kind of fun. I don't need to sell it to you any more than you can already see it. I'm genuinely looking forward to Mandalorian and Grogu, because I didn't burn myself out on Disney Star Wars content. I saw a little bit and I was like, you know what? This really isn't scratching that itch. So I'm going to leave it until something bigger comes along. So Grogu and Mandalorian, a standalone feature film. Perfect. I didn't watch season 3 of Mandalorian and I heard it wasn't great. So that's fine. So I'm kind of feeling fresh and ready for some more adventures with these two characters. And hey, if I absolutely love it, maybe I'll go out and get a Jada Toys remote-controlled AT-AT. It's unlikely, but I was about to say, how do you guys say it? Do you say AT-AT or AT-AT? And then I realized in typed comments, you're not going to be able to articulate that to me. But I'm pretty sure it's AT-AT. That's how I say it. Up for pre-order right now on 5K Toys, we got the Bullet Queen. I've been following this one for a little while now. For $80, you can put your money down and have her reserved for you when she releases a little bit later in the year. One thing that's a little disappointing is that she doesn't come with a cami head sculpt. And I think they were trying to be a little bit cagey with that one. But that's a real problem, because Cammy having this be Cammy, is what I'm trying to say, is a huge selling point to this figure. But I think they realized we're already skirting pretty close on thin ice. Let's not poke the Disney bear too much. Not Disney, Capcom. So it looks as though you might be able to buy a Cammy head separately, which you can then put onto this. But even without the Cammy head, it's still a cool looking figure. So you've got virtually two figures in one here, because you've got the basic body, and then you've got the different legs with the tattoos. You've got the clothed midriff and the bare midriff. So it is kind of two in one. But even with two figures, you don't have the cami head. So you might have to make peace with that. But if you can accept it for what it is, then it is a very pretty figure. And if I can find some more information about a separate cami head, I'll include that with the edit. Fingers crossed, you can get your complete cami. But if not, you've already got the Jada one. You know that Storm Arena are going to be having a Street Fighter Alpha 3 version down the line soon. So there will be some good cami representation in the future. Just a very quick little feature on the Revoltech Batman Beyond. They've shown us this new preview picture of the classic design of the costume, which is a huge tease and basically is an example of Revoltech doing what Marvel Legends and other companies, to be fair, love to do. They'll give us the less desired version of the character, collect our money for it, and then give us the one that we really want. Revoltech saw that and went, hey, it's not a bad idea, that. So this should hopefully be up for pre-order soon with a whole bunch of pictures so we can really see how it appears. But just judging from this little highly stylized promo pic, does look like it might be quite nice. SH Figure Arts are continuing to build out their Dragonball Z collection now. They're giving us Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku Daima. And he is going to be hitting later on in the year, like everything for Dragonball Z. If you know, you know. And if you know, you don't need me to tell you, which is lucky, because I don't know. One of these days, who knows? Maybe I'll sit down. Maybe when I'm in my old age retirement home and I got literally nothing to do, then Dragon Ball Z is going to be high on my priority list, because I want to see what all the fuss was about. There is such a passionate fan base, but I know a lot of that is because you grew up on it, you know? So it might be difficult for an 80-year-old Dave in the year 2000 and whatever. Not that far away now, I think about it. What is it, 2026? 2066, I'll be in my 80s. Gosh, how about that? And amazing to think I'm still going to look as good as I do right now. The wonders of healthy living, am I right? But if you want to get a hold of this figure, it's going to be up for pre-order, I believe now, actually. If not now, April 10th, probably by the time you watch this. And then he's going to be releasing in December this year. We got some quick pics of the new Mattel Kids DC figures. Of course, we all know these aren't the ones we're really going to be excited for. Those are going to be coming early next year. But just to give a little taster as to Mattel DC figures, considering that this is the cheap child budget line, it bodes well, because even the kids' figures have decently proportioned characters that look pretty good with a whole bunch of accessories, decent articulation with the thigh swivel as well. If this is your budget range, then for the high-end collector stuff, I think the DC license is going to be in safe hands, folks. I genuinely do. So even for the kids, to get them into collecting action figures, this is great. They got some action fun features, which, kids care about. I guess. Don't worry, we'll beat that whimsy out of them. Not physically. And then also, they got a whole bunch of extra heads. I mean, Joker, 4 different heads. Some Jokerized versions and variants. Gotta love that. Flash looks decent too. I'm really liking what I'm seeing for budget figures. But then, of course, roll on January 2027, because that's going to be real interesting to see. This is kind of cool. From PC Toys, up for pre-order now over at 5K Toys, we have the Question Mark Man, who is, of course, Jim Carrey's Riddler from Batman Forever. Gotta love those third-party companies. Yes, they're not paying for the license, but they do make some nice-looking figures. The Jim Carrey face looks a little bit uncanny valley, I feel. It's not quite captured Jim Carrey. It looks like it's captured the dude who turned up in Jim Carrey's place at an award show recently, where everyone was like, no. We're still not sure what the deal was with that. I think it was an impersonator. I don't know. This is a Jim Carrey impersonator, certainly. Question Mark Man. But look at everything that this comes with, and the soft goods as well. I think PC Toys did some Spider-Man 3 characters. Did they do the Venom? Was that Sawtooth Toys? It gets very confusing with the different third-party companies. But considering they've thrown in the Halloween mask, where they sneak in, or they don't sneak into the Batcave, they just bonk Alfred on the head. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. But he's got the spandex suit, but also the cloth goods jacket and the bowler hat and all that. Real labor of love for this here. Even with the donk, mind reader thing that they sticks on people's heads. For a Batman completionist, this hands down dollars to donuts. It's got to be the best Jim Carrey Riddler out there, even if it's not officially the Jim Carrey Riddler. And folks, that does it for Good News for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed to this channel and this just popped up in your algorithm, maybe because you're subscribed to the regular Model Behavior channel, give this one a subscribe and a thumbs up too, because this is the home of good news. So the main channel is for the big, huge comic book and action figure features that are hopefully going to be evergreen and you can watch years and years from now. And this channel is all about the on-the-moment good news that's going to be around for a few hours and then get buried in the YouTube algorithm. So enjoy it while it's here. Gang, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior.